Welcome back to the Build a Nation Challenge. Season 5 with Football Club Suduroy dramatically changed our projection, with Champions League money floating in. Question is, can we do it again next season? Preseason is going to be very different this time around. It is only a preseason in terms of the Faroe Islands League, as we still have 5 Champions League games to play. We are going to double up on affiliates, as we have made a link with Football Club Hoivik too. Same deal, we want to loan our players out to them. And in this case, they play in the second division and can take some of our less fortunate talent. Alright, is there any chance we can beat Xabi Alonso's Bayer Leverkusen?
How about no, you crazy Dutch bastard?
But we will give it our best try. I think this answers the question early on, as we go behind after 9 minutes. No, this is not looking good at all. Tapsoba heading this one over the line. This starts to look like a massacre, as Tella gets his second goal after 25 minutes, and a fourth goal too. I really hope we can keep it to 4 goals. That would be acceptable. No, just a minute later, we conceded another one. 5-0 in the end? You know what? That might be the worst performance we have had, and that is kind of a good thing, if we were to try and find some positives to say about this. Bodø Glimt have sailed down the Norwegian coastline to come visit us. Maybe our best opportunity to win or draw a game. We are dead last, obviously, but more importantly, they are also down here with us. We get the first goal. Nikolai Monk crossed it in, and Svein Fredriksson was first on it with his head. Oh hell yeah! Novak with a wild shot, and it looks like it gets deflected off Cruz or their defender, but who cares? We go 2 in front. Okay, I guess reality checked in. Nice corner goal for them. Throw in, and ASC Dam is getting it back, crossing it, and finding our substitute Mosgaard, making it 3-1. Thank you very much. 3 points and £2.4 million that we will run all the way to the bank with. Massive result for us. Next up is Fenerbahce. I do wonder how all those Turkish players like it, sitting on the bench on the 7th of December, this far north, on an island this close to the coast. Anyway, this might be our second best chance to get a result go our way. Not looking great. Andresen relied too heavily on the offside chance as their player went one-on-one with Theodor Kvist and scored an easy early goal. 41 minutes in, Aaron Knudsen scored a fantastic goal via the post. We are back to level. Second half starts how the first half did, with us conceding a goal. I'm not amused. And they also get a third goal, which likely kills any chances for a result. I was wrong. There is still a small chance as Svein Fredriksson finds the net not long after. Alright, 83 minutes in, and they score their 4th goal. I think it is over this time around. Yes, it was, as it ended 4-2. Not a bad game really. We had our chances and maybe got a bit unlucky letting them score 4 times.
Quite unfortunate.
I didn't ask for it, but fair enough. The board decided to plan for a new stadium. The transfer window opens up for business. We have released 6 players, and the most significant of those is Arnbjorn Svensson, who was offered a new contract, but wanted both too much in wages and playing time, compared to what I was willing to give him. And with that, we need to evaluate our first team squad. We need to either promote or buy a new central defender. Adding a bit of quality in this spot to help these 3 youngsters might be a good idea. While I'm fairly happy with our 2 defensive midfielders, this might also be our weakest spot, and I would not be against adding quality here. We currently have 44 players in our talent factory. While some of them are close to breaking into our team, most of them I hope to get out on loan. Adding to that tally, 12 more coming in that I found throughout last season. Some are very expensive as we are a professional club now. 500 in wages is going to be the new normal for decent talent. Joshua Berg is one of those players, and he is getting straight into our first team. A very decent advanced forward option, who's likely going to be sitting on the bench quite a bit, as he could also come in as the inside forward. He will replace Hummeland, who I hope to get out on loan with one of our affiliates to help them out. Also, Johan Helgi Jugovic, who was out on loan last season, will be promoted into our first team. Similar player, who could also be used as an emergency inside forward on the left. He will be replacing Mikkel Mosgaard, who I also want to go down and help one of our affiliates. Alright, we got a big signing, absolutely breaking the limit of what we should be paying our players with 2K in wages. Mikkel Stenderup is our new starting central defender. Quality all the way through, and maybe his only weakness is not being the quickest or the best header or the best on the ball. But his mentals and overall physical attributes make him far better than any other defender we got, and still with room to improve, only being 19. Well, that is a mistake. I forgot about Espen Tvite's clause of matching the highest earner.
Whoop, there it goes. Yep, my brain stopped.
Though, he might actually be worth it. It does hurt our budget significantly. Time for another massacre as we travel to Paris. That is a disgusting team sheet, and anything less than them scoring 5 goals against us would be a small miracle. They are also top of the league. Phil Foden made it 1-0 after 1 minute of play. This will get ugly. After 11 minutes, they get their second. Penalty at 20, third goal. Phil Foden again to make it 4 after 33 minutes. I hate this. And there it is. Our miracle chance is gone. It might even get to double digits. We got a goal. Unfortunately for us, it is an own goal by Patrick Højbjerg. 7-0. Thankfully, only a couple of minutes left of this awful match. The road to glory is paved with many patches of holes. This was more like a sinkhole. I think we should just move on and never talk about this bumpy part of the road again.
It's going to be a bumpy ride.
I do not think I have ever seen this message before. Our players are paying our supporters for their tickets. That is kind of cool. Our last Champions League game for now is going to be against RB Leipzig. Not an easy match at home. But I doubt this will be another massacre entirely, though I think we will lose it.
And here we go. I hope you're hungry for nothing.
Well, it does not start too well, as they get a penalty, but this time, Theodorqvist is there to save it. But he does not save this one, as they score after 12 minutes. Oh boy, they also scored a second time after 32 minutes, so it might be worse than I thought. Okay, nice, very nice. Our newly promoted striker Joshua Berg is getting a goal. Though it is deflected in, we will take what we can. Here we go, guys. We are on a comeback. Rodrigo scores from the corner. It is all even again. Just a couple of minutes later, they do us dirty on the counter and make us go behind again. And here comes the fourth for them. And any hope of getting a draw is thoroughly destroyed. They even get the fifth, just to make sure that we are not getting any chances. So in the end, we were not really close, but scoring 2 times was a lot more uplifting. I do not think we can complain too much. We end the campaign in 34th place, which is 2 better than I thought from the get-go, as both Club Brugge and the Norwegians are below us. Also worth a mention is how much money we made, or currently got. 15 million in the bank, and another 9.7 in the transfer budget that we obviously are not spending. We are on a downhill projection, so as a matter of fact, to continue how we do business, we need to do very well out in the qualifiers every season. Alright, we got a new player coming in, and he's being moved to the first team right away. Noah Barreto, a fullback on the left-hand side, is okay, but nothing special. Fairly decent defensively, but lacking slight attributes going forward. He will be replacing ASI Dam as the second option, but we will not demote him, as I feel like we do need a third choice. And since he can play either side, we will be using a 23-man squad next season. As a matter of fact, we will make it a 24-man squad, as we are also moving Gunnar Mar Erligsson up to the first team. He will be the second option defensive midfielder, not the best on the ball, but should be able to do a decent job for us. He will be replacing good old Eidfinn Johnsen, who is the last original player in our squad, but we will not demote him. We will keep him around as third choice in both of our midfield positions. We are starting the season in style, winning the Super Cup 8-1 against NS Sognar, with Patrick Højbjerg having an absolute laugh, scoring 5 times. That is our second Super Cup trophy out of a possible 3 we could win. And with that, the preseason is also done and dusted. But of course, this time around, as promised, we will focus almost entirely on our endeavor out in Europe. While the media only gives us second place in the league, in truth, we are likely going to win it with over 20 points. So I do not see much point in updating you before we are guaranteed to win it. The transfer window is now closed, and I'm very happy as we got 34 of our players out on loan. A lot of them with our 2 affiliate clubs where hopefully they can help them get promoted from the first division. We are linking up with the third team, Midvags Boltfellag. They are in the second division, and it might be troublesome getting loans to them this season, but they will be part of our long-term project.
One eternity later.
Half a season later, we arrive in June, and it was almost a perfect half season as we went on a spree of winning 20 games in a row. But of all teams, Streamer had to be the one to stop it. They come back to haunt us yet again. That of course means we are top of the table with 42 points, with 14 points down to second place B36. Obviously, the league is not even going to be close anymore.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning, and you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore.
Our players are on fire. We have 14 players above 7 in rating and a top goal scorer in newly promoted Joshua Berg with 18 goals in 14 games. But we will take a more in-depth look at player performance when the season ends. As we focus more and more on building a nation, let's check up on our affiliates too. Destiny 1 is looking solid for the promotion, and if they had our best youngsters, they would have been where our second team currently is sitting. Hoivig does not have the best of the lot, and that is showing. MB is actually doing fine on their own, as they do not have any players yet, but them possibly getting promoted on their own is pretty much the perfect situation for us. The summer transfer window is now open. We only have 1 player coming in to begin with, though I do have 2 more lined up coming in next month, but otherwise not many this time around. We moved up 6 places in the coefficient list, and we are now 36th. That is pretty good progress just from 1 season. Alright, we have our first opponent in the qualifier, and it is Dynamo Tbilisi. That is a pretty good draw for us. Should be winnable. And if we get through that, we either need to meet HJK, which is the best team in Finland, or Santa Coloma, which is a team I've never heard of before. To be honest, guys, it might actually be an advantage for us, both in terms of coefficient and money, to lose the second, third, or fourth qualifier, as that would bring us into the Europa League or even Conference League, where we got a much better chance to compete.
Cowards do that and that ain't you! You're better than that!
We are selling Novak. He was running down his contract and also wanted to leave. That means we need a new starting midfielder replacement. Didn't take long. Farid Banyaya is the man for the job. Expensive, but that is what starting players will cost right now. He is a foreigner, but so is Novak, so no problem there. He should be extremely good on the ball and receiving the ball, which is something we do need in that spot, as almost all attacks go through our midfield first. It does not get much further away than Tbilisi in terms of traveling.
This is it. This is what? If I take one more step, it'll be the farthest away from home I've ever been.
So let's hope we can find a result to take home with us here in the first leg. 40 minutes in, they gave away a penalty, and Hujberg is the man on the spot, but very unlike him, he wasted it completely with a looping attempt. We are definitely the better team, and we finally got rewarded for it, with Odin Bjornsson coming in and to the rescue with this fantastic shot. And in overtime, we doubled the tally with our specialty, a flat cross that met our newly promoted striker, Johan Jugovic. Fantastic. 2-0, not a bad result, but it could have been more with that missed penalty, and shown by the statistics. We never allowed a shot on target against us, so a very dominant display this far away from home. Summer transfers are done, and nothing else really happened. I decided to splash the cash and upgrade both our training facilities and the youth facilities once more. Yeah, that is a lot of money, but this is always going to be worth it.
No, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want, what I want, I'll tell you what I want.
That was totally worth it.
Time for the second leg. Welcome to the cold North Tbilisi. Hopefully ice cold as we put this to bed.
Please turn the thermostat up to 90 and leave me alone.
28 minutes have passed, and Menteni is whipping it over the top for Carlsberg, who hits it on the half volley like a prime Paul Scholes.
Headed out by McCann. How? Paul
Scholes!
This looked so offside, I didn't even think it to be close, but no. Fredriksson is 100% onside and scores to make it 2-0. Full time, 4-0 on aggregate, and in the end, an easy qualifier. They never even had a chance on target over the two legs.
You serious?
Maybe we didn't need a new central midfielder. Bjornsson has been very good, not only in this game. Seems like we are going up against HJK in the next one, and I thought we had an easy time. What a joke, 20-0. If we manage to beat the Finnish team, we might be up against Ludogorets once more in the third round. Interesting. Helsinki, here we come. Seeing the odds, I think this will be a fairly close game. If I were a betting man, I would put £10 on a draw.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it.
What on earth is going on? Nikolai Monk is getting a direct red card for pulling a shirt. Well, good thing I'm not a betting man then. 32 minutes in, and not too surprisingly now, they get a goal. Not quite sure what Thordorqvist is doing, but that is terrible goalkeeping. Shut up. We get a highlight, and Cruz is sending it over the top for the fastest man for us, and he is onside, scoring a goal to make it even again. Get it away! Get it away! Get it away! That was close. It ends 1-1. That is a massive result for us. With that early red card, it is a colossal result. And if you were betting on this, you just won £36.
Look out, Vegas! I'm taking over!
Another interesting thing, possibly down to the tactic, it was an even game after the red card, so I do believe that at home, we will win it. Alrighty, second leg, and I disagree with the bookmakers on this one. I think we are favorites to win it. Yes, we do look like the better team early on, and we do find the early lead, as Roy and Dyke is putting it behind their goalkeeper. Here we go, second half, and the king is stepping up. Take a bow, as this time he is scoring a goal himself. Oh no, this is not part of my grand plan. I do not like it, and that was way too easy for them to score on that header. Full time 3-2 on aggregate, but it was a lot closer than what I would have liked it. They had a couple of massive chances near the end, but thankfully never got it over the line. Top performance from our king. Love to see it. In some other news, over in the Conference League first qualifier, Annie Sockner was thrown out by Shamrock Rovers. But the good news is that both B36 and Klaksvikar managed to win their qualifiers. But the second round is where they both ended up crashing out. So that means all the pressure's on us to keep our coefficient points above average this year.
I'm feeling a lot of pressure. Pressure right here in my guts. And it's building and building and building all the time.
Yep, of all the teams playing in the European competition, for 2 years in a row. We met Ludogorets, though last season, it was in the second qualifier, and this time, the third. And if we can beat them, we will have the likes of Partizan or Lokomotiva in the playoffs. Time to go to Bulgaria again. I think a draw would be very acceptable in this one, and I do expect it to be a fairly close matchup. Maybe with Ludogorets being slightly better than us when playing at home. Oh boy, 3 minutes in, and they score from a free kick. That is not what we wanted to see. Oh no. Thordorqvist is already having a terrible game. We are 2 behind after just 7 minutes. Thankfully, Jugovic delivered a perfect cross from the corner into the head of Rodrigo just a few minutes later. Extremely late in the overtime, we concede once again. And honestly, that is one of the most frustrating goals in a long time. Because while the result was 3-1 in the end, we created more chances, and possibly were the better team on the pitch. But a shocking performance by our goalkeeper, letting in all of their 3 shots on target, is making the next game quite the hill to climb. Alright, second leg, and we need to score 3 times to win it, or at least 2 to get extra time. Is that possible? Well, I sure hope so. Though crashing out in the third round is not the end of the world either.
Funny story, Kent. It's the end of the world! God loves you! He's gonna kill you!
4 minutes in, and our top goal scorer is getting us off to a very good start. Second half starts as well as the first, as Royndijk brings the aggregate score to 3-3, and we surely look like the better team out there. That is the 90 minutes, and clearly, we are looking much better than them. Both in terms of statistics and player condition, so I expect us to score in extra time. This is too much. It's so heartbreaking. They get a chance, and they execute the long shot to perfection. No chance for Thorkvist in goal to save that one. No more highlights. Oh man, that's disappointing. Our Champions League campaign comes to an end. Well, it was a lot to ask for after that horrible first leg, but it feels a bit disappointing not to reach at least the penalty shootout. But we are not out of European competitions just yet, as we qualify for the playoff in the Europa League. For whatever reason, fate has decided that we are going up against the Helsinki team again. We beat them once, we can do it again. Okay, back to Helsinki we go. The good thing about this playoff is that even if we lose it over the 2 legs, we would still go into the Conference League phase. So this is actually a win-win situation for us.
This is a win-win-win scenario for everyone.
We took the lead after 18 minutes with a fantastic goal from Royendijk just inside the box. And we got a second one with Patrick Højbjerg finding the net for us. In the second half, he doubled his tally with a brilliant half volley, which is one of the better goals of the season. Unfortunately for us, they managed to pull one back, making it 3-1. However, silly mistakes by them led to Benyaya scoring his first goal for the club from the penalty spot. This one was a bit more surprising, and not really anyone's fault, as it was a really good long shot goal for them, 4-2. That's how it ends, and it's not a bad result for us. Being 2 goals up away from home should make us big favorites for the second leg. And here we go. All we need is to not let in 2 goals, and we will be playing in the Europa League rather than the Conference League. First highlight after 6 minutes, and things are not going as planned. Now I'm getting nervous. Oh, come on. An injury to Thorkvist. Well, at least we have Elias Fager on the bench. It gets even worse, as they score from a corner. So now it's all even on aggregate. But King Jessing is having none of this, as he delivers his usual low cross, which luckily finds Joshua Berg. There we go. Now we look like our normal selves. Carlsberg hitting back, and we are back to a 2-goal lead again. Full time, 6-4 on aggregate, and we are playing Europa League phase football this season. I'm a bit surprised by HAK coming here and giving us trouble, and I'm worried about that injury to our goalkeeper. 5 to 6 weeks, that's a slight issue. We will be promoting John Erik Thane to help the first team during this period. I had to recall him from his loan deal, as our second best option is also out with an injury. The schedule for the league phase is in. We have some of the biggest opponents to play: Tottenham, Napoli, and Roma. Hopefully, we can get some points against Hammarby, Partizan, and Partizani. After 21 league games, we won the league, still with 6 games to go. We might end up with way more than just a 20-point lead, as we are already 19 points ahead of B36. But at this point in our series, the Faroe League is basically just a way to keep our players fit for the European competition. Though, it's still important to win it for the Champions League spot. Joran Royendijk is leaving us as he joins Manchester United for a fee of 200,000. He would not be a happy lad if we didn't accept this deal, and honestly, as our first big sale, 200,000 is not a bad place to start. To make this an even better deal, we will have him loaned back to us for the rest of the season. First Europa League game, and Hammarby is visiting us. This might be one of our best chances to get 3 points, so I really hope we can do it. Yeah, this is not going how we want it. They look best after 17 minutes and get their early goal. We take full advantage of a massive mistake by their fullback, leading to Joshua Berg scoring for us. Further frustration, they score their second just a couple of minutes later. Just before the half, Højbjerg finds space in what might be a weak point in their team and ensures it's even again. Unacceptable. This is just poor defending, and I'm starting to pull the hair I do not have in frustration that we keep letting in goals. Full time, 2-3. We are just not good enough. I'm very disappointed with this, as this was one of the easier games in the schedule. We are traveling to Serbia in the next match to meet Partizan, and this could also be an opportunity for us to get points. Maybe not a win, but surely we can at least get a draw here.
Nope.
The King's specialty is back on the menu, as he crosses it in flat, and we take the lead just before the half with this scrappy goal. You know what? We might as well make it official by giving him a nickname. I really don't like how we are defending at the moment. They look lost out there. They just needed to clear it. You have got to be kidding me. 82 minutes in, and another awful piece of defending. He didn't even jump for it. We need better defenders. That is honestly just an awful end result. We are letting in goals when we shouldn't, and we are not scoring enough when we should. We were the better team but lost the match. Again this season, we only signed one of our intake. Time has come for Napoli to come to us. Obviously not a match we can expect to find any points in. Didn't take them long to break our high line and take the lead, and another one goes into the back of our net from a corner. I expected to see at least one penalty, and here it is. Though one thing we are capable of is scoring goals, even against giants. We somehow often find a goal, with Højbjerg getting it in. Full time, 3-1 to Napoli, but honestly, I think we did better than what was expected of us. We had decent opportunities and even scored, so I'm not upset about how this turned out. Another season ends with us winning the cup. We can again call ourselves treble winners. The league ended with us having 23 points more than B36, so my prediction was pretty good. 71 gained promotion to the top flight, which is good news for our best youth, who will likely play for them next season. Højbjerg was struggling, and I was worried about them getting relegated, but they managed to survive. Further down in the second division, MB also got promoted, which we can be really happy about. When it comes to our players, I want to look at all competitions, and not just the league, as we rotate quite heavily and use our entire squad a lot. The highest average rated player is Nikolai Monk, with 736. He also got 16 assists and 2 goals too. A really good season for him. Joshua Berg is our top goal scorer, with 31 goals. He might be unambitious, but that is a crazy amount for someone I thought would be only the third choice. An absolutely outstanding season from the youngster. Espen Tive has overtaken Jessing, at least when it comes to the assist tally. He has 17 this season, and overall it was a better second season for him compared to his first. A couple of honorable mentions, starting with Patrick Højbjerg, who got 27 goals and 7 assists with his 738 rating. He is our own product, 100% homegrown, and goes from strength to strength, being one of the best players with a Faroes passport. Odin Bjornsson might have only been the second option in midfield, but every time he played, he showed up big time. He had 10 goals, 10 assists, and a rating of 730. That is the kind of backup impact we want to see. And that goes for Paul Karlsberg too, who also finds himself as a rotational option. He can play either side, so he plays quite a few games, and in those he got 18 goals, 9 assists, and an average rating of 721. While I wouldn't say we have anyone completely terrible, I would like to address that our defensive midfielders and central defenders often end up with rather low ratings, but that's just how it works, unfortunately. So while I'm sometimes harsh on them, someone like Latinen, with a rating of 7.4 away, who also scores goals from corners, or Stenderup, with a rating of 6.84, are not actually bad ratings. The final points are yet to be decided, of course, but we are looking quite alright in the coefficient points, being number 29 on the list for the season. We can, of course, maybe manage to make it better by winning 1 or 2 games that we will play in the next episode. I guess we will make it a habit to end on the club page. So here we are, looking at our new trophies and how our club develops over time.
That's it. Good night. Thank you. Please donate to Australia. Have a great time. Get drunk. Take your drugs.